Hey everybody, it's Dagger here. Alright, well, today is Saturday? Yeah, Saturday. Got back from vacation, recording this video, and hopefully to get some footage after this video. But, anyways, this story is gonna be one that I've been asked to do many times by quite a few of my friends, quite a few of them, and this story revolves around the end of this school year, and I don't mean to sound weird when I'm talking, but it's kind of hard for me to get back into this stuff, but I do appreciate all the support. Don't forget to click the like button if you liked it, to see more of my content and stuff and things. But basically, this story takes place at the end of this last school year. So, as many of my friends know it, and some of my fans may know it, but I've got a 2010 Camaro. Now, this isn't an SS, an RS, Z28, whatever models there are. I know there's a lot of them. This is just the LT, the base model, the 6-cylinder base model. It's silver and black, and the black is carbon fiber put on the hood and other places. So, anyways, I decided to get some Lamborghini doors on them, a Lambo door kit, and I spent about 20 hours installing them with my father and my brother, and it was a 2-day process. 20 hours, we split them on days, and so what happens is, after those days, it's time to go back to school for the final week of school. So, I make it there. I don't mean to say we, but I make it there. And I'm showing off the Lambo doors because this is the last day I have to go, but I can miss it because of my attendance. So, I decide just to show off the doors and go home. Well, it's not as simple as it was. I start showing them off. Everybody loves them. Even our school cops, they love them and everything, but there's this one individual. He's got a 2003 Mustang GT. And nothing wrong with Mustangs or anything, even though they're the rival of the Camaro. And the Camaro is the small vicious animal that'll eat a Mustang. But, I don't have any problem with them. I have the problem with the driver of it. The dude decides, I found it all harmless and everything, but he decides to post something on Snapchat telling me what am I doing with my life. Well, I don't respond to that, and I tell everybody the reason he's doing this is because he got mad before I put the kits on. These kits are probably 100 pounds more, but before I put the kits on, I had raced him before and I had beat him, and he was mad because his 6-cylinder beat an 8-cylinder, which, if you look at it, Porsches, some of them are 4-cylinders, and they can beat Vettes that are 8-cylinders. So, I have no problem with the kid. He's got the problem with me. So I decide to come back at lunch and talk with some of my buddies. And, I'm just sitting there, and the dude decides to pull up beside me. He starts talking smack. He starts posting Snapchat videos of me and everything. And, I'm laughing about this, calling him cupcake and everything. It ends up pissing him off even more. So he's sitting there, trying to yell in my face, make me mad. And he didn't get up close and personal. He got a pretty decent way away. And by that, I mean he was probably the length of the car door if it would have went out all the way. But, what happens is, he's calling me these names. And he calls me over, so I just sit there at the window of his Mustang. And I tell him, I said, must have been another white Mustang with black stripes down the middle that I mistaken, which there was not another one in our whole town. There isn't another one with a single stripe down its middle. So he starts getting mad. He's like, well, you want to go? He says, I always laugh at some of the dumbest things that I have heard. And one of them was, "Oh, you shouldn't race me because I'm fourth in, the town that we live in." He's like, "I'm in fourth place for our fourth mile racing." And I'm like, I don't quite care. That was my honest reaction to him. I said, I don't care what you are. You're not going to scare me. And you're not going to make me scared of you by threatening me. He's like, "Well, anytime, any place, I'll race you." And, that's that. He speeds off. He thinks he's all cool. And, stuff. He left me alone for the rest of the day. Many people recorded it and started saying that I was a coward because I wouldn't race him. The whole deal behind it is I've got a family and I don't want to die. If I'm on a straight track, yeah, I'm fine with that. But the whole deal that I looked in, and this is from my look in of his car, but he had stripped the panels out of it. He had taken the speakers, the back seats. He took as much weight out as he could. And so his car, I don't know how much it weighed, but I know mine weighed an extra probably 300 pounds because we had to put speakers and we had to put all these lights on them because I felt that, I wanted to just show off my car. Mine wasn't for racing. So, he goes ahead and speeds off. And, I have no problem with him for the rest of the day. The next day, he starts circling my car in the morning. And this is a 3-day week to consider on. So he starts circling my car and revving his engine. And, Camaro, for the newer generations, they don't really have a loud engine. They don't have loud exhausts, anything, really. They start getting loud when they start speeding up, but, I didn't quite care for the guy. And, he's sitting there revving it. He speeds off. He moves over to another parking lot because he's so mad at me. He starts making all these Snapchat things, yelling at me. And, I don't quite care. And what's funny about it is this kid, he continues on, for the day, trying to mess with me at lunch and everything. And my buddy with, I don't know what it was, but Teague, and Teague knows what his car is. I don't pay attention to many models or anything, but Teague decides to race this dude, and I mean Teague smokes the dude. But not only that, that dude tries to pass him and goes up a curb, and it was pretty bad. Well, one of his buddies pulled him off of the curb. Well, not the curb. He went up and onto the grass, and it messed his Mustang up. Well, anyways, what happens is I keep going. I follow Teague and everything. Well, the dude ends up behind me, and this dude loves to tailgate people. Now, he continuously tailgates and yells at me while he's in his car. So I decide I'm gonna brake check him. I continuously brake check. Well, not continuously. 3 times I brake check. And he gets really mad. He starts flipping me off, yelling at me. So I pull out, of the area. We're waiting at a stoplight. He starts trying to race me. Well, just to take you guys back a little while back, he had made a threat on Snapchat to take a sledgehammer to the hinge of my Lamborghini door kit, or those hinges of the Lamborghini door styled, doors. He made a threat to do that. And so I'm driving, and he starts to speed up, and I'm starting to pass him, even with more weight than what he has. I'm passing him. Well, he decides to swerve to his left, which is at my passenger door. I'm in the passing lane. He's in the side lane, and I was speeding up to avoid him. Well, he comes directly over towards my doors, running me onto oncoming traffic, and he records all of this. Well, I come back on, and he starts honking at me. It was really funny because he starts yelling at me. I've got 3 of my buddies in my car, and they're yelling back, and, he's causing all this trouble. Well, I go home, eat lunch, come back, he texts me and starts threatening me, telling me that I'm effed and I'm screwed, and everybody's gonna know about me. Well, I go and talk with one of the officers, and talking to him, he's like, yeah, that kid is probably gonna lose his license soon because he's got a bad rep. Well, what's funny about it is, I don't know what it is, but the car wasn't under the kid's last name. And he may have a step parent or whatever, but these people were telling me that it was a really odd last name, and they couldn't find him in the systems. Well, ends up I had his name wrong because his buddies had given me his name wrong. My deal was, how did he find my number? Well, I'm assuming that's one of the people that he was with knew my number. Now, I was told a lot about the kid, that he doesn't lose his license because his dad's a hot shot in our town, and he's high up and high mighty and everything. But what's weird is, after all this goes down, I tell him, I say, we can just talk with the school police. And he's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. And his buddy says, he had made all these threats to me that he was going to kick my A, and that I had scratched his car and I was paying for it, and I haven't paid for it. But the dude and I shook hands. Well, finds out he's still talking smack. Well, me, I'm not into racing. I explained to him that it was a show car and that he didn't need to get upset about this and all cocky. Well, he's a pretty cocky guy. He thinks he's bad to the bone, But what makes me feel bad is I found out this kid had lost his mom. And, yeah, I feel bad, but that gives him no reason to disrespect me in any way. And with that being said, I tried to be as nice as I could, and I didn't get loud with him. I simply walked over to him and I said, look, we're going to go talk to the police about this. And as soon as I had said that, he was done. He wanted to shake hands and leave it be. And he knew that he'd lose his license. Well, I think one of his buddies had told me that they thought he lost his license recently. Now, a little backstory on this kid. According to some of his friends, he has wrecked 3 cars in his past. A Tahoe, a Silverado, and a Ranger, I think it was. A Ranger, yeah. But to find out, I think it was a Range Rover. I don't think it was a Ranger. But this kid is bad at driving. He's had a motorcycle in the past, wrecked it before. The reason he doesn't get in trouble is because his dad's a hot shot of the town. And, I think the police had enough of it. He has ran from the police, and I think the reason he didn't get in trouble, once again, is because his dad's a hot shot up in the town. And whatever other reasons. And, since then, I haven't had any physical problem with him, or verbal. It's been over social media. And, I don't have a problem with him saying anything to me, because, he could say all he wants. I'm just going to ignore him, and it's going to make him even madder and madder and madder. But the deal with the guy is, he also, the last thing that I found out was, we've got 2 teachers over at our school that have like 2010 vets, and he went with some buddies, and they broke the rear windshield. Yeah, like, you've got the windshield and then you've got the one behind you. Rear windshield. They busted out both of those teachers' windshields. Rear windshields. I don't want to say windshields, but rear. And, they weren't caught. And anyways, I'm really respectful about things, and I told him I wouldn't talk about him or anything. He wanted me to admit that I had lost, and I said, whatever, man, let's just leave it where it is. And I haven't had physical or verbal problems with him since then, and I'm all happy about that. But my deal is, be respectful to other people if you want respect. The dude just tried to find someone out to yell at and make comments, and I think it was because he's an attention seeker, was his whole thing. But anyways, this was the story of the kid with the Mustang. Now there is a second and a third kid with Mustangs that I will go over later. So make sure, if you guys did like this, once again I'm going to say, if you did like this story, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, whatever you want to do. Feel free to let me know what I could do to make these stories, videos better. Now, it's a double upload on Monday, so the other video is not going to be a long one like this. It's going to be probably 2 to 3 minutes, so maybe 2 to 5, but it's going to be a very short one, and you'll see why. So otherwise than that, guys, I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.